my esteemed viewers, subscribers, and followers. Welcome to my next edition of Master Your Language. And like I always say, this is where you get it right. And can you repeat this after me? Red lorry, rally, roll down Limu Road. Red lorry, rally, roll down Limu Road. That is your tongue twister. And after repeating that, come with me as we continue with the common mistakes in written and spoken English. Remember, we started looking at this a while ago in the last session, and we are continuing with the same. And in English, there are certain mistakes that you can easily make without you noticing that you are making mistakes when you are writing or when you are speaking. And now, I want us to look at some of them. Like, we're able to see these sentences here. Obviously, somebody keen can be able to tell that there is a grammatical error in these sentences here. Let me just take you through them as we try to identify where the error is or where the mistake is. Sentence number 1, did a mistake. Sentence number 2, follow instructions to the letter. Sentence number 3, all of a sudden. Number 4, drink tea or drink coffee. Number 5, return back my book. Number 6, as if I was their child. Number 7, yes, I have not. Number 8, Bill is my older brother. Number 9, between Tim and Tom, who is the tallest? Number 10, we ate chips and chicken, among others. Number 11, watched it in the television. And number 12, out of the blues. Number 13, the noise rented the air. Number 14, who is knocking the door? Number 15, absenteeism is discouraged. Number 16, it took long to put off the fire. Number 16, chips and chicken are my favorite foods. And number 18, every Tom, Dick, and Harry. Number 19, repeat again. Number 20 and the last, the remote is up there. Now, let's try and look at these sentences one after the other as we try to make sense out of them and to correct them the way they're supposed to be. Number 1, did a mistake. We don't say did a mistake. For instance, I am sorry, I did a mistake. No, you should say, I am sorry, I made a mistake. So you should say, I made a mistake. Don't do a mistake. And here we are talking about follow instructions to the letter. The error is here. We don't talk about letter. We normally confuse the two words. Remember, we have about letter and letter. Actually, the right word here is follow instructions to the letter. To the letter. Follow instructions to the letter. Letter means second of the two mentioned. For instance, I can give a sentence example and say, I thought I wanted to go to church, but later on changed my mind to go to the market. The latter was more convenient for me since it was running late. What did this person opt to do? So the latter one of the latter is the second of the two, which is going to the market. Okay? Tom and Peter are my best friends, but the latter is my favorite. Who is my favorite? It is the second of the two mentioned, who is Peter in this case here. We talk about instructions. Follow instructions to the letter without doing what? Without taking chances. Now, number 2, or rather number 3, all of a sudden. This is very simple. Actually, it should be all of a sudden. All of a sudden. Yeah? All of a sudden, the rain started. Let's look at number 4. Drink tea or drink coffee. We don't drink tea. We don't drink coffee. Neither do we drink soda. Don't say, I drank soda. Yeah? But we should say, we sip coffee. Sip coffee. Yeah? Sip coffee or sip tea. You also sip a soda. Alright? you also sip a soda, but remember, you eat porridge, alright? Yeah, so with that, let's go and have a sip of coffee. Let's go and have a sip of tea. Right, the next one, we talk about return back my book. This is just a repetition. You don't say return back. Simply say return my book. Right? Or I need my book back. Alright? Then, okay, number 6. As if I was their child. For instance, a sentence example. The Kimanis are very kind. They treated me as if I were their own child. You should say, they treated me as if I were their own child. Kimanis are very kind. They treated me as if I were their own child, not as if I was their own child. Number 7. Yes, I have not. These are positive responses with positive questions with positive responses. In this case here, for example, somebody can ask you that, have you taken lunch? Maybe that is very early in the morning, and somebody asks you that, have you taken lunch? And indeed you have not taken lunch. What should be your response? You should say, no, I haven't. No, I haven't. Have you been to Dubai? Assume you've ever been to Dubai before. What do you say? Have you been to Dubai? You say, yes, I have. If you have never been to Dubai, you say, no, I haven't. Yeah, so that's how you can be able to answer these questions here. And in this case here, we have number 8. Bill is my older brother. Actually, the error is here. You should say, Bill is my elder brother. Elder brother as opposed to older brother. But you can ask a question. Between Bill and Geoffrey, who is older? Right? Who is older? Yeah? Not who is elder. Okay? Then number 9, between Tim and Tom, who is the tallest? We are comparing two. Remember, we talk about tall, taller, tallest. These are comparative form of adjectives. So you should be able to ask, between Tim and Tom, who is the taller? Who is the taller, right? Who is the taller? Not who is the tallest. Tallest is used in the superlative form when we are comparing more than two. Number 10. We ate chips and chicken, among others. Actually, the statement among others here should not come here. What you should normally say is that we ate, among others, chips and chicken. That is the grammatically correct English. We ate chips, we ate, among others, chips and chicken. Number 11. I watched it in the television. Actually, this is about preposition. We don't watch in television, but we watch on television. I watched the program last night on television, but you can say in telly when you are referring to maybe you are working in a television or company or broadcasting station, you work in, all right? But then if you are talking about what you watched, you will be able to say, I watched it on the television. Number 12, out of the blues. The correct English is not blues. You should actually say out of the blue. Out of the blue. From a known place or unexpectedly. Then we have number 13. The noise rented the air. Actually, the noise rented the air. Rented is wrongly used there. Remember when we are referring to that force that was used to tear something apart like that. So we'll be able to talk about the noise rent the air. The noise rent, not rented. Actually, the verb here, the infinitive verb, is supposed to be rend. It's supposed to be rend. The verb rent, we talk about rent. Rent is both a noun and verb. For instance, when you have acquired a house and you are living in that house and you pay some money at the end of the month, then you are renting it. You rent it, okay? And of course, now you pay your rent. All right. Let's look at number 14. Who is knocking the door? This is very simple. It's a matter of prepositions. So you should be able to say, who is knocking on the door? Who is knocking on the door? Or you can also as well say, who is knocking at the door? Even when we talk about standing, who is standing at the door? Yeah? Who is standing at the door? Number 15, absenteeism is discouraged. Maybe in this school, we talk about absenteeism. Actually, this is about spelling. This is around spelling of absenteeism. You should be able to spell absenteeism like that. Yeah, not very many people will spell it like that. When we talk about absenteeism, that's the spelling. Number 16, it took long to put out the fire. That is a matter of testing on what we call the phrasal verbs. Okay? Yeah. So we talk about what? Put off. You don't put off fire. Instead, you put out. Put out. Okay? It took the fire brigade 2 hours to put out the raging inferno. Number 17, chips and chicken are my favorite food. No, you should not say are, because chips and chicken makes a meal. So you're referring to one particular meal. You're referring to a dish. So you should be able to say chips and chicken is my favorite food. Right, now you know. Now let's look at number 18. Every Tom, Dick, and Harry. This is a very common phrase. You can find it in your Oxford Dictionary when you are referring to, ordinary person. But we can be able to say a sentence like this. My father does not entertain every Tom, Dick, and Harry. To mean, any other ordinary person. Person who is not of their class, for instance. Alright? In this case here, it is not and, but it's supposed to be or. That's the correct phrase. I don't entertain every Tom, Dick, or Harry. That's the right sentence. Number 19, repeat again. This is also a repetition. Repeat. Just simply say repeat. Okay? Not repeat again. You're repeating yourself. So avoid that repetition. Simply say repeat. Okay? Or sometimes many people will say sorry. Others will say do it again. Others will say come again. Okay? Yeah. So number 20, the remote is there up. Maybe the TV remote or radio remote. You should be able to say the remote is up there, not there up. The remote is up there. Awesome. Now to my surprise word. I know you've been waiting for this for so long. My surprise word is T-O-M-B-O-Y. You get that? My surprise word is tomboy. Tomboy. What's the meaning of a tomboy? You will be surprised. A tomboy refers to a young or a little girl. Did I say girl? Yes. A young or a little girl who likes activities or games that are only meant, or the activities that are only common with the boys traditionally. That is the person we refer to as a tomboy, a little girl who finds interest in activities or games that traditionally are meant for the boys, for like climbing the trees. You just find a little girl who really likes and enjoys climbing the trees. That's the person we refer to as tomboy. I thought you should know. Now, I hope you've learned something. Thank you very much for watching this video. Kindly do not forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with your contacts. Until we meet again in my next edition of Master Your Language. Have a fantastic and fabulous time. Till we meet again in the next episode of Master Your Language. Kindly share and be part of my class. Thank you.